Wilcox family originally came out from England. They were from Bury St Edmunds area. It came in about the 1840s, and I think they came to settle in Gawler and were merchants in Gawler. But George was the merchant, and after some years he decided he should get married and went back to see his family in the UK and met and married his future wife, and they came back to Australia on the maiden voyage of the City of Adelaide in 1865.
The City of Adelaide is really important to Adelaide. It was purpose-built in 1864 to bring people over from sailing from London and did 23 return journeys.
Because he came on the maiden voyage with his new wife and went back to Gawler, but they moved to Adelaide, where they had 3 children, and the eldest being George Seaborn Wilcox, who in fact was born on the City of Adelaide. And that's the workshop down the far end now?
The workshop's to the left
around the corner. I feel very closely knit with the ship because they travelled on it more than once, several times, and got to know the captain very well, and their children travelled on it a number of times too.
So therefore, it's the original, one of the original wheels.
It got, just got redecked as they needed.
Yes.
But some things are original. The ship was capable of carrying up to 300 passengers. We've been able to identify over 1,000 names, but the number would be far more than that. Unfortunately, the records in many cases only recorded the names of the first class passengers, and there were anything up to 30 first class, but 270 second class passengers. And often we're only finding out the names of the second class passengers through things like newspaper reports, particularly if they've gone to a regional location. So it would certainly be in the thousands.
They sent things across to England to sell Australian animals, which were, in fact, one trip they even hired a whole cabin, which they took parrots and birds, which would not be allowed now.
When the ship left London, it sailed non-stop to Adelaide. It had to carry everything on board they needed. So most of the food they ate was salted or cereal type of food. They did carry lime cordial, which would have assisted for scurvy and things like that, provided by Bickford's. They also had livestock on board. So there was a cow on board for milk, there were sheep, there were pigs, there were goats, and chicken for eggs. But most of their produce would have gone to the first class and the children and babies.
The thought that they came out on a sailing boat had all sorts of weather, including storms, and you can get a fair idea of the conditions from reading the diaries of other people that were on the ship. Throw any more light on that letter of the visit to the Carrick, which I claim was from my Auntie Rita.
This ship was quite unique actually. It had its own desalination plant. So they would boil salt water and then catch the evaporated water to produce fresh water. They also rely pretty heavily on rain to top up supplies. But the water would be a bit brackish by our standards that we're used to today.
My son has promised to take over from me when I can no longer keep the records, and I keep everything I can find on the City of Adelaide, and not only the City of Adelaide but the other clippers I keep, and I've got quite a library on it. I am looking forward to coming again when the ship more has been done to repair the ship. I'd love to come and see it as it progresses in its reconstruction.
And I would think in the first 10 years you would just simply see remarkable progress, and then from there on it'll be a job forevermore.